Cascais on the Atlantic coast of Portugal, just 30 kilometres west of the country's capital, Lisbon. It's the third stage of the 2015 UIM XCAT Powerboat World Series, and it's the first time that the XCATs have raced here. A new venue with grandstand views, it will challenge the teams and promises spectators close-up action on the water.
It's a great place. Until now, we really enjoyed it for the organization and also for the circuit. I like here.
C'est magnifique, Cascais, c'est magnifique.
Coming into this third event, the overall standings look like this. Newcomers Team Abu Dhabi, piloted by Rashid Al-Tayer and Falak Al-Mansouri, led after winning the opening round of the season in Fujairah. A second place finish in round 2 in Dubai in February saw them consolidate their lead, but defending world champions ex-Dubai were now on the back foot.
We had a problem in the first race, which was in Fujairah. We had an engine caught on fire, was on the left engine. And then in Dubai, we started, we got the pole position, but we had another technical problem, and we ended up, on the first lap like last, but we were able to catch up and finish the race in Dubai first position.
With 35 points on offer for victory in Cascais, there was plenty on the line as the 13 teams, representing 7 countries, lined up in the Atlantic Ocean for the first time on a technical and challenging course.
It's a little bit dangerous, the circuit, because it is windy, it's difficult to turn. The boat stay up for a long time and then they won't go down for a turn, It's a really tough race for 13 boats together.
It's a bit tight race course. You have to have a good acceleration. You have to know when to turn because you're coming on a high speed. And then when you brake to come on a turn, you have to be very careful that you don't spin the boat.
As the practice session got underway, it was the Videx team that recorded the fastest lap. But with no points to be gained until pole position qualifying, it was all academic. Many teams opted to hold back on pushing their boats too hard, too early in the competition. But for boat number 17, Rahib, the intensity of this type of racing took its toll.
We just finished the practice time for the first day and we had some problems with the engine. I think we blew a power head, so the guys are just fixing it at the moment, but we'll be finished until the pole position tomorrow. I'm the only woman out of 13 teams here. I'm the first woman ever entering the XCAT series. For me, sitting in this boat with 2 engines with 300 horsepower per each, a top speed of around 100 miles per hour, it's really extreme. It's a lovely feeling. You can't even imagine if you haven't been in it. The goal for this week is just to finish all the races, the Speed Cat race and the Grand Prix on Sunday. Finishing the race is so important for us. This is my life, this is what I do, this is my job 24/7. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Dubbed the Greatest Motorsport Series on water, the UIM XCAT Powerboat World Series sees teams of 2 pilots, a driver and a throttleman, in twin-engined carbon-fibre catamarans, contesting in an all-out battle of speed. But it's not just the racing that makes this series unique.
The very special thing about XCAT racing, it's not a race, it's a festival. We're very much similar to the Formula 1 cars where we create our own village. If you see, it's not only the race, it's the VIP hospitality area, it's the tent for every team, it's the workshop for every country and every team. That's why the population in those small cities, they are very excited to be part of this race. And wherever we go, we see the mayor or the authorities in that city are very excited to have the race again in the next year and the year after.
Cascais recebe grandes eventos e também com muitos países.
In Cascais we are used to receive people from all around the world.
Toda uma tradição de acolher outros povos.
85% of people that live in Cascais are outside of the world, so they are always welcome, and we are used to give the best hospitality that we can.
A receber bem todos aqueles que vêm de outros países e de outras origens.
The first official racing was the qualifying session, or pole position. The all-important hour and a half where all the teams would go out onto the racecourse to try and record their fastest time. This determined their position on the start line.
Pole position is like 70% of the race. It's very important to get at least fourth. To get in the first gate, you have like advantage.
But with the weather conditions deteriorating, it was sure to be a challenge for all the teams.
It's going to be quite lumpy out there, so it'll be a whole different strategy. And this is such a technically advanced course. We need to be right on our money when we're taking those turns, because that's where you're going to win or lose.
As all the teams began their sprints around the course, it was clear that this third round was proving to be the roughest so far on the XCAT World Tour. Performance was down, with recorded times not as quick as practice, but still the competition was fierce, with just half a second separating the top 3 boats in the first 15 minutes of pole position alone.
In the real bad water earlier, we were a very happy position, and we decided to wait because we were just beating the equipment up. We didn't think we could do that much better. And now we've seen that everybody's time has started to come down a little bit that's out there, and the wind has died a little bit. So we're going to go back out and make another run.
Conditions began to improve, so all the front runners headed back out onto the course. There was one shot left at taking pole position, and it came down to the wire. The final lap of this EMAR pole position session is going to be set by the 3 boat of Xtreme. Arif Al-Safin and Nadim Mehendi come across the line now. Is that going to be good enough to give them pole position for the Portuguese Grand Prix here in Cascais? Yes, it is! 2:33.70. Fantastic lap by Arif Al-Safin and Nadim Mehendi. Right at the last minute, they take pole position. So pole position for the ex-Dubai boat just ahead of Abu Dhabi team. Yachts would start in 3rd, and a disappointed T-Bone Station will be starting down in 4th on the grid. During pole position, XCAT Racing showed just how close to the edge these teams push their boats. Oh my goodness me, and that's a big moment for the XCAT squad.
You know, it's going so fast, so you know, you don't think, you just, you know, doing what you have to do to try to save it, and then, you know, and then, okay, now we go again. So, you know, it's very quick, everything, and, you know, I've raced a long time and have done many things like that, so we don't try to think about it. Just, you know, keep going.
So it was just another day in the office for pilot Eric Stark. Brave words from the young Swede. With speeds in excess of 120 miles an hour, this high-octane sport has its dangers. So what's it like to be an XCAT crew?
My name is Sean Torrente. I race for Team Lady Spain and Altman Marine.
I'm driving boat number 46, and my name is Jay Price. An XCAT requires 2 drivers. One's considered the throttleman, that's my job. I push down on the sticks as much as I can to get the speed going.
And then you got a guy steering the boat, looking for his next mark on the course because it's very far away.
Really important job for the driver is to understand when I'm setting the boat so he can continue the turn and how quick to get it straight out of the corners.
While as the throttleman is looking at gauges, trim indicators, just attitude of boat, and then I set my line.
He understands the race course, and I understand what he needs to be doing on the race course.
If the instincts of the throttleman and the driver match, then it becomes a very good team.
All catamaran boats have a feeling of an airplane. If you're driving them really fast, you're actually in the air more than on the water. The only time you want to be on the water is when you turn the boat. So you set it down, you turn it, and as quick as you can get it back off the water, that makes the quickest lap times.
The acceleration speed that we do is from 30 to 100, and we do that because that's our start speed. The first 10 miles an hour doesn't feel like it's really accelerating, and then it's like you grab second gear in a car, and it just really takes off. And as a driver, that's where the tail of the boat becomes very loose, and you're just trying to keep it straight, because the straighter you can keep the boat, the faster it's going to go.
To be a good boat racer, first of all, you can't have any fear, because it's a dangerous sport, obviously. Flying a race boat around the course is a lot like driving your car wide open on 2 wheels and expecting to make that turn in the next corner. We actually take the boat and push it to its limit where it's out of control, and then try and bring it back under control just to make the turns. And that's when the exhilaration comes in. Your G-forces are 4 or 5 Gs, and that's the exciting part about turning one of these boats.
It feels like heaven. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like heaven, but also it feels like, I assume it feels like what you feel like when you're strapped into a rocket to go to outer space. That's what it feels like. It's an amazing feeling. I'm 36 years old. I've raced the boat 2/3 of my life. Besides my wife and my daughter, it's really the only thing I live for. It's the only thing I get out of bed in the morning to do. I've always said if to live your life is to live your life doing the thing you love to do.
Next up, it was the Dubai duty-free Speed Cat Run. The format, 2 boats head-to-head in a drag race over a kilometre. With points to gain towards the overall series standings, this is all about straight-line speed. In the first round, X-Dubai beat Team Saracen Australia. X-Dubai had won both of the opening Speed Cat runs so far this season. There was then a great performance by the 17 Rahid boat. Abdulatif Alomani and Veronica Alderin taking their first ever victory in a Dubai duty-free Speed Cat Run match. Next up, the 96 boat of Yachts was heavily fancied because of its design, but it was the 6 boat of Horzenboos that managed to triumph in their first round clash. Team Abu Dhabi, Rashid Altar and Falak Al Mansouri defeated the Americans in Team Lady Spain. And then in the semi-final, it was SWICAT Racing against T-Bone Station, and SWICAT Racing made it through to the final. The third place playoff was between Abu Dhabi team and T-Bone Station, and it was the number 10 boat that got the best start and managed to secure 3rd place on the podium. And then the final. SWICAT were leading in the early stages against X-Dubai until that moment there where they lost the nose. That allowed X-Dubai to come back through and just snatch victory on the line. The 3rd win of the season for Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi. Here's a look at how the championship stood after the Speed Cat run. Team Abu Dhabi still on top, but with their advantage over the chasing pack reduced.
We had a good race with number 2 at the end. It was pretty close, but we had a good top speed, which we could beat him at the end.
Felt like we had it for a while, but then maybe 50 meters before the finish, we had a big jump and lost a lot of speed. So, but you know, it was really nice to see that we were almost there.
X-Dubai had won both pole position and the Speed Cat run, but it was all to play for in the main race.
Tomorrow is a different race. It's a big thing tomorrow, and we're going to try for it, and we're going to fight for it also.
Join us in part 2 to see who will make the podium in what promises to be a thrilling finale to round 3 of the UIM XCAT World Series here in Cascais, Portugal. Welcome back to the 3rd event on the UIM XCAT World Series in Cascais on the Atlantic coast of Portugal. 13 teams representing 7 countries are racing here. It's the first time that this picturesque port has hosted an event on the XCAT Tour, but when it comes to international sport, Cascais is a thoroughbred as a venue.
We have hosted America's Cup World Series in the past, Formula 1 events, MotoGP events. All the top sport events already came to Cascais, and this one is a new one, and we are very, very pleased to host this event.
A perfect venue, but there was one thing the organisers couldn't control.
This weekend the weather is not helping us. It's quite unusual for this period of the year, but the feedback I have from the teams is very positive. They like the place and they are very happy to be here. The feedback is very, very positive.
I don't know if it is a challenge or not for the drivers, but we'll see.
But even with the fickle weather conditions changing by the hour, the pilots were positive and focused on just one thing, their performance.
Our expectations is to get a good, solid run and finish, and hopefully if everything goes well with that, we get a top 3. That's our goal for the weekend, and we're still within sight of that.
I like this condition. My boat is performing well in rough conditions, so I expect to have a good race. But you know, this kind of race, you never know.
Everyone is strong, so we're going to do our level best. We did our homework when we were in Dubai, so let's see what the outcome is going to be today.
It will be Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi in Boat 3 X-Dubai that will start on pole position. Those top 4 boats going through the first gate at Turn 1. And watch out for boats 96 and 10, some of the European pilots more used to this rougher weather compared to the Middle East. In terms of the course, the boats will start far out to sea in the Atlantic Ocean, heading down towards the port of Cascais, then turn right, head up the coast before looping back around to complete a lap. It's going to be a 13-lap race. Pasquale Sassano holds up the green flag and the race gets underway here in Cascais. Boat 3, Xtreme, starting on the pole position. You can see the 28 boat there on the left-hand side of shot. They've had a bit of a jump start. Global Marine, Alfredo Amato and Roberto Lopiano really pulling away. But at the far end of the course, those are the boats to be watching. They are the leaders coming through turn 1 into the first gate. And it looks as though it's Xtreme have taken the lead. On board with Abu Dhabi team, Rashid Al-Taher on the right on the throttle. Falek Al-Mansouri was at the wheel. As they come through the right-hander for the first time, you can see how much movement there is in the water. This is going to be a real challenge for these boats in this race. But it's boat number 3, Xtreme, that started on pole position. Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi, there they are, leading the way. They've got some competition to the left-hand side of them, though. That's the yachts boat, number 96, Salbu Bacho and Francois Pinelli. But it's boat 3, Xtreme, that have taken the lead. They come up now towards the hairpin right-hander. That's the 4th turn on the course, and that will send them looping back around and back down towards the port. But the battle for second is the one to keep an eye out for. Xtreme have made the break, but you've got T-Bone Station out there on the right-hand side in the silver number 10 boat. On the left-hand side, we've got Yachts and darting out there. On the further left is Abu Dhabi team. Rashid Al-Taher and Falek Al-Mansouri, the championship leaders, pulling out to try and find a way through into second position. A frantic start, but it's the 3 boat that has taken the lead. This is the section of the course that's really rough. It's more exposed to the elements than some of the other parts of this course, and as a result you can see the 96 yachts boat really putting the pressure on boat 3 now. But Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi are starting to pull clear. In fact, they've got a really good run there. I think Yachts might have made a bit of a mistake as they come down towards the end of the first lap. Again on board with the Abu Dhabi team in the battle over second place, the 4-way battle over second place, coming into the right-hander to complete the first lap. And at the moment, it's the 96 yachts boat that have the second place, but T-Bone Station are on the outside line for the corner. Giovanni Carpitella joined by Marco Panesi in that boat for the first time as they swing into the first turn at the end of lap 1. Xtreme won the championship in 2013, 2012 and 2014. And now they are leading this race, but they've got a lot of work to do after their poor start to the championship. They come into the little left-right flick, and it's still absolutely side by side in the battle over second place. T-Bone Station holding it at the moment, and it looks as though they've got ahead of Yachts now. So boat number 10, Giovanni Carpitella, who won the first ever XCAT World Series title. He and Marco Panesi having a good run out there, but meanwhile the race leaders Xtreme are looping back around once more. Look at the throttle work there from Rashid Al-Taher on the right-hand side. These conditions are ones that really test the throttle man. When you're in flatter water, they just stick it down flat and away you go. But here they really have to work it because they've got to keep the boat as flat as possible. Oh, goodness me, which is not what Abu Dhabi team were doing there. Big moment for Rashid Al-Taher and Falek Al-Mansouri. They're still in the fight though. Further back, boat 46 is Lady Spain. Jay Price and Sean Torrente racing together for the first time. They've raced against each other an awful lot in their careers, but they are partners in one boat for the first time. But there's our first and second place boats. Xtreme leading the way. T-Bone Station there in second place, and emerging in third position at the moment is the 96 yacht boats. Francois Pinelli and Salbu Bacho, run by the CRB offshore team, the French squad. And they are one of very few boats that race a Dug-Right machine. Every other boat in the field is built by, whoa, Abu Dhabi team going for it again. They are really struggling in these conditions to keep the nose down. You want to keep the props in the water as much as possible because they're the only parts that keep you in contact with the water. And that is not the way to go. We heard Jay Price earlier on saying you've got to keep the boat out of the water as much as possible, but not quite like that. Abu Dhabi team, though, have got a great run coming out of turn 4. Really good traction in the water, and they're pulling alongside Yachts now. This is the battle for third position. Xtreme leading, T-Bone Station in second, and now in third place. It looks like it's Abu Dhabi team on the right-hand side. The boat that won the opening race of the season in Fujairah. They're pulling clear of 96 now. And Abu Dhabi team look to have made the place up, but again the nose gets away from them, and that compromises their speed. That allows Yachts to gain the momentum. Look how much smoother that Yachts boat is on the water. It's a bigger boat than the Abu Dhabi team boat, and as a result it's much more comfortable in these rough conditions, and you can see it gliding along while the Abu Dhabi boat's flying all over the shop. So here they come, down towards turn one again, the battle for third place, the final spot on the podium, and they're going absolutely side by side into the next right-hander. They're almost going to touch as they come towards turn one, and Abu Dhabi team just about resurrect it and hold on to third place for the time being. Fantastic fighting out on the course. Really spectacular stuff here in the Cascais Grand Prix. The weather may have been a bit miserable all weekend, but we've had some entertainment. There's another replay of another moment for Boat 5 Abu Dhabi team. Side-by-side action as we come around turn 4, and this is the 96 Yachts boat trying to get back past Abu Dhabi team and into third place. You can see T-Bone Station just up in front. They've just put a lap on one of the other boats, and Yachts have made it through now. They've got alongside Abu Dhabi team. They took a wider line into the corner, got more speed through the corner, and as a result have managed to pull alongside and pass Abu Dhabi team now on the run down the back straight again. Fascinating to watch these boats battle, trying to control almost 600 brake horsepower from their 2.5-litre V6 engines. And prop choice in these conditions is absolutely crucial. The bigger the prop, the more top speed, but you get less traction in the water, whereas if you go for a smaller prop, it's easier to control, but you end up with less top speed. But there are our race leaders meanwhile, Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi out there for X-Dubai. This is turning into a very commanding performance from them. They won every race in the season last year, but they've been pushed really hard so far this season, and that's the second place boat out of the race. T-Bone Station, Giovanni Carpatella and Marco Panesi look to be out for the third race in a row. They've retired from second position. Such frustration for them. But meanwhile, Abu Dhabi team are dropping back. They were in the battle over third place earlier on, but now it's the 96 Yacht boat that are comfortably in that position, which of course has now become second after the retirement of T-Bone Station. And now it's the sixth boat of Nicolini, the Horzenboos boat, that has moved up into third spot past Abu Dhabi team. I just wonder if Abu Dhabi team have damaged their props or engines somehow in one of those big airborne moments that we've seen them have. They've been landing very heavily on the rear of the boat. So second place now is Yachts, third is that six-spotty boat run by Nicolini Offshore. Matteo Nicolini and Tommaso Poli, the pilots there. And then further back, we've got the Abu Dhabi team. Great to see the sixth boat doing well. They finished second in the opening race in Fujairah. Haven't won a XCAT World Series event since Arona 2 years ago. And now we've got a three-way scrap over what is fourth position. And look, Abu Dhabi team, I think, are really struggling now. They're dropping further and further back in the order. But here are our race leaders still. X-Dubai, Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi. What a stunning performance it's been for them. You can see the advantage here on Virtual Eye that they have over the second place boat, which is 96. 17 is a bit of a back marker in there. Side-by-side action coming through the little left-right kink. This is the 46 boat of Lady Spain that's involved in this fight. Jay Price and Sean Torrente, and they're under pressure from the two XCAT Racing boat. On the final lap of this race, here come our race leaders, X-Dubai. The checker flag is waiting, and it falls in Portugal for X-Dubai. Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi win the Cascais Grand Prix. Second across the line is Yachts. Here's a look at the results after a commanding victory for X-Dubai. Yachts and Horzenboos completing the podium, but championship leaders Abu Dhabi team could only manage fifth at the end of the race. A superb win for X-Dubai, and as a result, they now move to the top of the championship, just 1 point ahead of Team Abu Dhabi. 2 podiums in 3 races mean that Horzenboos are now up into third place in the standings, with Dubai and XCAT Racing completing the top 5. So a proud moment for the 3 teams as they make their way up onto the podium at the end of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Victory for Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi.
Cascais has been a very beautiful venue. It's one of the best, I think. Enjoyed it a lot. People is beautiful here. The venue, everything is superb.
I feel good. Yes, it's a good place with the weather and the boat feel well. All it's okay.
We're aiming for a podium. We said at the beginning of the race, we want to accumulate as many points as possible. Top 3 in the ranking is our main target, and keep it. So steady result and lots of fun, which is the most important thing.
Stage 4 and the midpoint of the 2015 UIM XCAT World Series travels to the Gold Coast of Australia, another new venue on the tour and an event that is guaranteed to see some close quartered action. Join us there. The Cats are coming.